long ago either. Today, Hercules is in a museum. Had it not been for a wonderful act of courage and a little luck, he never would have won such a face. This is how it happened. The day Hercules came from the factory, the whole town turned out. The mayor made a long speech, and he proudly referred to Hercules as the most modern, the most up-to-date fire engine in the world. It was a proud day for Hercules. His safety valve danced, and the quivering needle on the steam gauge showed how strong he was. Hercules was drawn by 3 horses, one white, one black, and one dapple gray. And the people of the town presented him with a mascot, a spotted coach dog, to run with him to the fires. Hercules had a crew of 3, Hokey, Pokey, and Smokey. Hokey was the fireman. He kept steam up in the big boiler. Pokey was engineer. He watched the gauges and connected the hose to hydrants. And Smokey sat on the front seat and drove the horses. They made a great team. People used to hang around the firehouse for hours on end on the chance an alarm might ring. It was exciting to see the horses leap toward their harness when the gong struck. It was even more exciting to see them in full flight through the town. And it was most exciting of all to see how quickly they put out a fire. One blast of water from Hercules' hose, and it was all over. Anyhow, that's how it was in the beginning. The trouble was that time was passing and new things were being invented. There was a strange, noisy vehicle, the automobile. People called it a horseless carriage. It was almost too much for the horses. Hokey didn't like the looks of this at all. First thing you know, he said, they'll be putting motors in fire engines. And when they do that, Hercules and all of us are done for. But Smokey and Pokey said he was plumb crazy. Smokey jeered, we'll stick by Hercules and our horses. At least with them, we'll always get to the fire. What counts above everything else is getting to a fire first. And there came a day when Hercules, though he rolled as fast as ever, arrived too late. The fire was out. It had been put out by a new kind of fire engine. An engine that wasn't pulled by horses at all. This newfangled machine chugged under its own power. Already one of these monsters was coming back from the fire, and at the top of the hill, Hercules met him face to face. The upstart blasted his exhaust in Hercules' face and nearly choked him to death. Life was unbearable after that. The alderman and the mayor solemnly decided that Hercules was obsolete. He was too old, too slow. So they retired him. From then on, nothing seemed to happen. The alarm never sounded. The horses were sold. The white one to the police force, the black one to a riding academy, and the dapple gray to a junk dealer. And Hercules grew old, like a soldier pining for the smell of gunpowder. But Hokey, Pokey, and Smokey, because they loved the firehouse, stayed on. Wait and see, said Smokey. Someday there's going to be a fire, the worst fire this city ever saw. And we'll be there with Hercules. There's things that Hercules and horses can do that those trucks can't do. That day came sooner than even Smokey had dared to hope. Their own alarm suddenly sounded. The cobwebs flew in all directions. It's a general alarm, yelled Smokey. The city hall. We've got to do something. There were no horses to pull Hercules. But he knew what to do. He began to ring his big brass bell. When the old black horse heard that familiar clang, he shot like a bolt from under his gentleman rider and tore to the firehouse. The dapple gray abandoned his junk wagon and the white horse just brought his new master right in with him. Here they come, yelled Pokey. This was like old times. It was a good thing they started, and before long they found out why. One after another, all the fire trucks had come to grief. First, they passed hose number 4. Number 4's crew were cranking their heads off, but the engine wouldn't start. We can use that hose, yelled Hokey. They stopped only long enough to pick it up. Then they overtook hook and ladder number 1. Number 1 had blown a tire, then the spare, and the crew were sweating to pump it up. Never mind that, Smokey bellowed. Get aboard with the ladder. Emergency truck number 3 was hopelessly stuck in a muddy ditch. Get aboard, Pokey yelled as they flew by. And bring your life net. On the steep hill near the city hall, they heaved past chemical number 2. It just didn't have the power to get up the slope. Nothing could stop Hercules. The bridge was out, but Hercules could do things that no fire truck could ever hope to do. This was the worst fire he had ever seen. The heat was so scorching that Pokey had to unharness the horses and lead them away. If they were to save the city hall, Hercules had to pump water as he had never pumped before. While Hokey fed coal under the boiler, Pokey threw himself on the safety valve, and Hercules pumped until he was blue in the face. Everyone was saved, including the mayor and the alderman. with no hurt except to their dignity. And that was how Hercules got into the museum.
Hi everybody, I'm Skip Alsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime streaming show. That was Hercules, which is a film, it's what we call an iconographic film. And somebody pointed out in the comments that this is Ken Burns' effect before it's Ken Burns. So iconographic film is basically, this is almost entirely with children's storybooks, is they basically, to make it a motion type of dynamic thing, there's a narrator, there's panning across illustrations that are in the book, and then there's sound effects and music and things to make it dramatic, and there's zoom ins and slides and all this stuff. So it's a way to take still imagery and to give it some sort of dynamic life. These are not usually of interest to me, except for the stories that, there might be a story that I like. I tend to like the really, truly animated stuff or the live-action versions of the stories. But a lot of Weston Woods was a company that did this a lot. They would animate some of the films, but many times they would just basically take a book, or at least try to get hold of the original illustrations and then do camera work based on that. So, budget saving. So I collect old 16mm films, and I show them to folks like you. Here is my, I'm using the wrong hand, my, so weird, my telecine, which allows me to transfer films in real time and then broadcast them across the internet. Let's see what we've got here. We also have films that we've digitized over the past several years, and we have copies of those, and we'll be showing those as well. Yeah, this next film is part of a series. Used to be shown on public television in the 70s. It's called Inside Out. And I remember seeing this as a kid. Sometimes they would bring a TV into the classroom, and we would watch it broadcast on the local public station. Then we would talk about it. But these were actually distributed to schools. And what I like about this is a lot of it deals with emotions and of situations. Some of the stories are crazy, some of them nostalgic, some of them, they all deal with what kids are coping with at the time. Kind of like an after-school special, but not so ham-fisted. This kind of deals with just things like disappointment and fear, surprise, things like that. So this is just one place. Enjoy.
The following is from a national instructional television series. The series and related materials were developed and supported by 32 educational agencies, with additional support from Exxon Corporation.
was the trip. I wonder where he is.
I don't know. I haven't seen him all day.
Hurry up, Kevin! Come on, Kevin, let's go! Hurry up, Kevin, let's go! Let's go, man, let's go! I can't wait! Whoopee, a trip to Johnson Falls! Yippee! It sure is nice out here.
Kevin, come on, man. We gotta get back. 2 o'clock, buddy. Gotta hurry up.
It was beautiful. All them trees and grass. It's so different than the city. I loved it. It was so quiet out there, it bothered me.
Glad you enjoyed yourself.
I liked it. I want to go again. Come on, Jimmy, let us go again soon. Yeah, can we go again soon?
Maybe we can try it again next year. You guys take it easy here.
Bye, Jimmy.
What's the matter, buddy? What's on your mind?
Oh, I was just thinking how different it was out there.
Come on.
People throw stuff around and nobody cares about anything.
So what you gonna do about it?
But what can I do?
Come here, I want to show you something. Look over here, Kevin. Nobody cares about this yard. You can tell by the way they throw trash around. Now you take this yard. Now it looks to me that somebody really cares. They have taken the time and trouble to make it look nice. Now they really care about their yard.
But what can I do?
There's a lot of things you can do, Kevin. You can take on any small project. Anything you think you can do it. You can take this one area, man, and make it really nice. You understand? Maybe you can find somebody else with the project. You might be able to help them. Okay? Well, look, I gotta go out. Talk to you later, okay? All right?
See you, Jimmy. Maybe Jimmy's right. Maybe I can do something to help. But I gotta find a place that's not too big. Something that I can handle. It's gonna be a lot of work. Don't worry, it'll be worth it. We gotta get rid of all these clays because I almost just cut my finger. Come on over here, help me carry this stuff. Make sure you get all them big rocks. What are you gonna do with this old car hood?
This is gonna be a nice garden once we get all the stuff out.
Get the hand too. Hey, Miranda, what you doing?
We cleaned out this yard for Mrs. Barry.
Why, you're crazy?
Now you see a little bed in that place over there already. And plus it's gonna be a garden.
But people come in here and throw more stuff in here.
We're gonna put up signs.
It's gonna be hard work, Kevin. Could I help? I really wanna help.
Well, okay. What do you think you're doing?
I want to plant these seeds.
You don't plant seeds that way.
How do you know? You don't know how to plant a garden.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
How do you know?
'Cause Miss Barron gave me a book. You see, you make the rows, and then you put the seeds a couple of inches away from each other.
You know what? I hope everything turns out all right. I wouldn't want anything stupid to happen to this garden.
Don't worry, we did everything by the book.
Now, you know, this just makes me mad. People throwing their trash and stuff over here. Why don't they put it in a trash can or throw it next door when nobody cares?
Baby, they don't know it's a garden. Baby, they don't know we growing stuff.
They know. They just don't care.
Maybe we can throw some signs and tell people there's a garden here.
Hi, Miranda.
Hi, Jimmy.
Where's Captain?
He's around back.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Hi.
How much is the belly?
Hey, Kevin, what's happening, buddy?
Oh, nothing, man.
Man, got a beautiful place here. Looks
Yep.
like a lot of hard work.
Yep.
Wow. Doing pretty good.
Yep.
Was it worth it?
See? See? It's much nicer than that place over there. It's like a little bit of country right here in the city. I did it. I worked, and I made this place a whole lot better than before.
You did a good job, Kevin.
Thanks, man.
We're real proud of you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Come on, let's go get a coat.
Hey, throw the ball to me. Go out for a pass. Come on, over here. guy, let's go. Let's go down to my house. Come on here.
What happened?
Somebody came in and wrecked the garden. Just tore it all up. Ruined everything.
Why would they do that to our garden?
I don't know. It's just ruined.
Say, hey, what happened to the garden?
Somebody wrecked the garden.
Yeah, like, wow, they just came and they just ripped it all up.
Oh, wow. It's a shame. But it was fun to do.
But it's no fun now.
I know how you feel, Miranda. I mean, you really did a good job on this yard. You made it look really beautiful, man. Everybody was talking about how it looked. You had a lot of fun, didn't you? Don't you remember, Kevin? You had a lot of fun, right? Got to sell vegetables. Made some extra spending money. Think you want to do it again?
No, because people act like they don't want nothing good around.
What about you, Kevin? You want to do it again next year?
Inside Out is a series of programs and related materials developed and supported by 32 educational agencies in the United States and Canada, with additional support from Exxon Corporation. This program was produced by WNVT, Northern Virginia Educational Television, under the supervision of NIT, National Instructional Television.
This is similar thematically to Old 23, which is about the school bus, the activity bus that was in bad shape, and they were going to decommission it, and a teacher said to his students, let's fix it up. And of course they fix it up, and the baseball team wrecks it, man. And I just want to say, those kids that wrecked the garden, they had that basketball athletes, man, the jocks. That's where I'm going with this. Jocks are the sworn enemy of the geeks. But you can see how this series, it's open-ended. You know, so Kevin, are you going to do this again next year? And we don't get an answer. And so it's something that you would propose to the students. As a teacher, you would say, would you do this again? And, you know, then the kids would discuss it and talk about, you know, the benefits of what they had done versus the negatives and the pros and the cons and all that stuff. And it's a discussion-based thing. So now we're going to go from the city, the gritty city, to a magical realm of frills and whiteness and sets and order. Enjoy.
Sets in Order, the National Square Dance Magazine presents a glimpse at the national recreation so many people are enjoying, called square dancing.
Pick up two and you make it six. Circle six and around you go. You circle high.
Produced and directed by Bob Osgood.
with Joe Fadler doing the photography. You circle eight, and around you go, around your left-hand lady. Oh boy, what a baby. See, so your party little tall, the cutest girl you ever saw. Now gents to the center and back to your jeans. Now ladies to the center and you circle the lane. You circle forward when you don't get lost, and the gents step in with the right hand crossed in front of your girl. Now the ladies turn in a ticks and whirling. What you're watching is a typical American Western square dance. The kind that is proving so popular today in cities all over the country. Come back in, ladies turn in a ticks and whirling, join your hands, go right in a left-hand star of the first lady out, and you form twos, one like Venus and one like Mars. Now the girls lead in and the gents lead out, and you turn those two stars round about. Now the girls go out and the gents go in, and you turn your two stars round again. Now find your honey, that pretty little maid, and you hop right onto a star promenade. Now the girls go in with turn around like a jaybird walking on a frozen ground. Go all the way in and don't fall down. Now roll away in a half sachet. Now the gentleman star in the same old way. Now the girls roll back to a left element in a right. You'll notice that the 8 dancers are following the spoken calls of a person who is best known as a caller. In addition, their movements, which are timed to the rhythmic beat of the music, are confined to the limits of a square area, which is about 12 feet across. Now, let's leave the 49ers for the moment and join the 12-year-old 7th grade Linwood Shufflers as they set up a square. Starting from scratch, we have our first couple, number 1, with its back to the caller and the music. Couple number 2 is the next couple to the right of number 1. Couple number 3 faces couple number 1, and number 4 is what's left. Hey, Steve, where's your gal? You know, you've got to have a partner. Ah, that's better. You go get her. Now, couples number 1 and 3 are the head couples. They're doing the bowing. And the side 2 couples are 2 and 4. Now, let's watch Bill and Nikki, our number 1 couple, for a minute. They're going to show us how to swing. Notice Bill stands right side to right side, facing the opposite direction to Nikki. His right arm is around her waist, his left hand holds her right hand, and her left hand is where his right muscle should be. The two just start walking around each other smoothly, not too fast. Now as they go faster, the left foot stays behind and pushes a bit in this buzz step. Just for a minute, I want you to be the number 1 man in this square, standing with your partner facing couple number 3. All right? Bow to your partner. Now bow to your corner. We're ready to go, so here's the music and the caller. Sets in order. Go in, the gents go out, you turn your Texas star about.
The figure the Linwood Shufflers are doing is called Texas Star. It illustrates very well one of several different families of square dance figures. This one, with everybody busy all the time, we'll call the all-work variety. You'll notice that all 4 couples are active all of the time.
Now the gents to the center with the right-hand star say, howdy do. Now back for the left, and how are you? Now skip that girl and pick up the next. Now the girls go in, the gents back out. You turn your Texas star about. Now the gents go in, and the girls back out. Now the girls go in with a full turnaround like a jaybird walking on a frozen ground. Go all the way and it don't fall down. Now the gents go in with a full turnaround like a scared old rabbit chased by a hound. Now break in the center and everybody's swinging whirl. Now promenade, go single file with a lady in the lead. It's Indian style and swing with a girl behind you. Now put her on your right and make a ring. Now circle to the left with a dare little thing. And break that ring with a corner swing. Now element, left, go left, element, and right, your honey, go hand over hand. And right, left, ring, go round the ring. And meet your honey, now meet your maid. Meet that girl, now promenade, and promenade. Go to before, get right.
We have several other square dance classifications beside this all-work variety. For instance, there's the simple visiting dance, which we'll use the 49ers to demonstrate. In a simple visiting dance, each couple has its turn at visiting the other couples, as you see our number 2 couple doing here. You'll notice as they visit each couple around the square, they do a simple figure, like take a little peek. Then they leave that couple, go on to the next in circle 4. This time it's bird in the cage. After circling this time, they go on to the last couple in circle 4. This time they'll do I'll swing your girl and you swing mine. Usually a figure like this is finished with a do-si-do.
From a circle, the ladies will pass left shoulders, left hand to their partner, right hand to the opposite, left hand to their partner, then turn in place. Here's the way it all sounds when the caller calls it.
The couple bound swing, go round and around with a pretty little thing. Gonna lead 'em on out to the round of the ring. Go round, that couple gonna take a little peek. Back to the center, now swing your sweep. Go round, the couple gonna peek once more. Now back to the center and circle four, and around you go. Now break the string, go do-si-do-do. Say hi to the do-si-lo, and a chicken in the bedpan picking out dough. On your heel and on your toe, and a one more change. Go on to the next, and circle four, round you go. Bird in the cage, go three hands round, and walk the floor. Now bird hops out, the crow hops in, you circle three, you're gone again. Now crow hops out and circle four, round you go. When you break the spring, go do-si-do-do. Say hi to the do-si-lo. Chicken in the breadpan picking out dough, and one more change, and on you go. Go on to the next, and circle four, round you go. And I'll swing yours, you swing mine, and oh, gee golly, ain't that fine? You swing yours, and I'll swing mine, and I'll swing my girl every time. Now circle four and a heel and toe, gonna circle to the left, go round you go. Now break the spring, go do-si-do, do-si hi to do-si-lo, and a chicken in the bedpan picking out dough, and a one more change, and home you go, and everybody swinging, whirl round and around with a pretty little girl. Then an element left with the old left hand, right your partner, right and left hand, go right and left, go round the ring, go hand over hand with a pretty little thing. Meet your partner, meet your maid, take her by the hand, you promenade and promenade, go round the ring, down right back home with a pretty little thing. Fourth couple bound swing.
Very similar to the simple visiting dance is a member of the square dance family we'll call the pickup, or the accumulative type. You see, these two couples are doing Birdie in the Cage just the same as it was done before. Now, instead of leaving the couple they were with, the active man simply picks up the next couple as he comes round, making a circle of 6.
Go round the ring, bird in the cage, and five hands round, you walk the floor. Now bird hops out and the crow has circle 5, or hops out and circle 6, you circle 6, and you don't be...
After the 6 have finished, the active man will again break the circle and accumulate one more couple, so that all 8 are doing the figure.
7 hands round, go round the ring. Now bird hops out and the crow hops in, you circle 7, you're gone again. Hops out and circle 8, and a great big ring, gonna circle to the left, go round the ring, you circle...
Whoever said there is no such thing as age in square dancing has a good point. These 49ers are just young married couples, as compared to the 12-year-olds you saw a short time ago. Here now, doing a do-sa-do is a group of old-timers, folks like your grandparents. In fact, 3 of the ladies are great-grandmothers. And they've been square dancing, all of them, since they were just youngsters. Now let's watch these old-timers as they illustrate a 4th type of figure in the square dance family called Divide the Ring. In a Divide the Ring figure, and there are lots of variations, the active couple, designated by the caller, goes down the center of the square, splits the opposite couple, and in this case, the lady turns right, the man turns left, and they go round the outside till they meet at home.
Same old gent, the brand new date, go down the center, go through the gate. The lady goes gee, the gent goes haw, go right back home with a pretty little tall, and do-sa-do, your partner's all. Now those corners, don't you fall and give your own a swing and whirl. Now promenade with a corner girl, you promenade this pretty little thing, gonna take a little walk, go round the ring, right back home with a pretty little girl, and everybody swing and whirl, everybody swing. An element left to an element there, go right and left and form the star. Gents back up in a right hand star, gonna walk around backwards, not too far. Now shoot this star and find your own, take her by the hand and promenade home. Promenade, go round the ring, right back home with a pretty little thing, go right back home. Now second couple down, swing number 2. Go down the middle, divide that ring, and the lady goes east, gent goes west, and pass the one that you love best. Now circle 3, you're doing fine. Now spread right out and form 2 lines. Go forward 6 in the vacuum march. Go forward again, gonna make an arch. Lone couple, just you 2. You swing her once, now tunnel through, tunnel through. Now swing at the end and tunnel back. You make your feet go wiggity-whack. Right back home and everybody swing and whirl. An element left with the old left hand, right your partner, right and left, grand right, and up go round the ring. Go hand over hand with a pretty little thing. Meet your partner, take her by the hand, and you promenade around to the promised land. You promenade, go round.
Now do you see what we mean about no age in square dancing? Here's something to think about. The youngest of those old-timers has more years than the combined ages of all the dancers in this next square. These are the 6- and 7-year-old polka tots. They're showing the 5th and final type of figure of the square dance family, which we'll call the line variety. Right now they're in 2 lines of 4, and you see them doing a simple ladies' chain across the set, down the line, across the set, and back home in a figure known as the route. Here now with the music is forward 3 and also forward 6, 2 examples of line figures.
Now bow to your corner. The first couple bow and swing. Now promenade the outside ring. Go all the way in, don't be slow. Get right around with a girl you know. Now the lady go halfway around again, and 3 in line you stand. Now forward 3. Now 3 fall back, and a forward 3 and 3 stand pat. The gent don't see around the 3. Go all the way, go round the 3. Turn your left hand lady with the left hand round. Turn the right hand lady with the right hand round. Now the opposite lady with a 2-hand swing, your partner with the arm around and swing her home. Now everybody swing your own. Now Alaman left, go left, Alaman did a right, your honey go hand over hand, go hand over hand, go round the ring. Meet your honey, now promenade 8, get right around, need it, don't be late, go all the way, go 2 before, and get right home as you did before. 2 and 4 you bow and swing. Now twirl your girl to the right of the ring, and 3 in line they stand. Now forward 6 in the back you go, 2 gents loop with a do-side-o. Now the right hand high, the left hand low, and form new lines of 3. Now forward 6 in the back you go, and the 2 gents loop with a do-side-o. Right hand high, the left hand low, you twirl your girls, and don't be slow. Forward 6 in the back you go, and the 2 gents loop with a do-side-o. Right hand high, the left hand low. Now forward 6 in the back you go, and the 2 gents loop with the do-side-o. Now the right hand high, the left hand low. It's all around your left hand lady. Oh boy, what a baby. See, saw your pretty little toe, the cutest girl you ever saw. Now alley men left, go left, element did a right, your honey in a right, left friend.
The folks you've been watching are certainly not professional dancers. They're just regular people who belong to square dance clubs or do their square dancing in school for the fun and joy it brings to them. You too will discover the real pleasure of square dancing fun once you give it a try. And when you do, you'll ask yourself, why didn't I try this a long time ago?
Why didn't you try this a long time ago? Yeah. Square dancing. Guess I was watching some sitcom last night, and there was some sort of impact square dancing that was, I think it was a parody. I don't think it's real, but it was pretty hilarious nonetheless. Where it was in a gym and everybody was like, ooh, ooh, and like this insane cardio square dance, and the caller was, was this gym guy. It was funny. Anyways, school is back in session for most kids now, and it means something totally different. But this is maybe a film you can show your kids about manners in school, since many of them are actually at home in school. So here it is, Manners in School.
Larry Carson.
Yeah?
It's almost time for recess, Larry. I just wanted to remind you it's your turn to clean the chalkboard.
Oh, Miss Rand, we were gonna play ball at recess. Honest, you better get somebody else.
Hi, Larry. My name is Chalky.
Gosh, you can talk.
Sure. And I can walk and run and even jump.
Gosh.
Ah, that's nothing. What's important, Larry? I'm here for a purpose. To do something about your manners.
What do you mean, my manners?
I'm worried about you, Larry. You need someone to give you some advice. Some advice on how to become a regular guy.
Say, who do you think you are? You're just like everyone else, always picking on me. I don't think I like you.
Now, Larry. No one wants to pick on you. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm gonna wipe you out. That's what.
Look out there. Hey, stop. Look out now. Help!
You think you're smart, don't you?
Phew. My heavens. You are a bad-mannered young man, aren't you?
I dare you to come down here and say that.
I think we'll continue this little talk from up here. Now, about those manners. I'm afraid you've got to improve them.
Yeah? Who says so?
I do. And practically everyone else. Everyone who knows you thinks you're rude.
You're just making that up. People like me, all right.
I'm afraid not, Larry. I guess I'll have to prove that, though, won't I?
You're darn tootin'. I dare you.
All right. You ask for it. Let's look back a little. When you arrived at school yesterday, it wasn't time for class, so you went out to the playground. The other kids were having a good time till you came.
I ain't gonna bat. You can't do that. You're gonna work up like everybody else. Try and take it away from me. Don't argue with him, Jack. We only have a few minutes before the bell rings. Play ball! Okay, throw me the ball. Well, I wouldn't have had time to work up before the bell rang for class.
Larry. That's no excuse. But speaking of the bell for class, I seem to recall that you played ball after the bell rang. Being late for class is another example of bad manners. What's more, you got others into trouble by making them late, too. And Miss Rand, do you think that her morning isn't busy enough without teaching the same thing twice?
Well, gee, I didn't.
I was wondering, Larry. You wouldn't erase me if I came down a little.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not.
I think I can trust you, Larry. After all, I'm just trying to be your friend.
I guess I'll let you stay a minute. But I could get you if I really wanted to.
Phew. Thank you, Larry.
But I don't want you to pick on me.
Most of the time, when people offer advice, they're not picking on you. They're really doing their best to help you. Doesn't that sound reasonable?
Well, I guess so.
Sure. And almost all of us need to learn and use good manners.
What's so special about good manners anyway? What do you want me to do? Curtsy when I come to school?
Larry, good manners were never invented to make anyone look silly. Good manners show our consideration for the feelings of other people. To help us, we have rules that we follow. Rules of good behavior. Do you understand, Larry? Well then, if people are going to live and work together, don't you agree that we should have rules or manners to guide them in the way they treat each other? Good, Larry. I can see that you're beginning to get the idea. Now, I don't intend to pick on you, Larry, but let's go back to your behavior in class. It's always bad manners when you don't pay attention to your teacher. She's there to help you, and it's bad manners to distract your classmates. Look at it this way, Larry. If you had something to say, wouldn't you want the others to listen? All right, then. There's something to remember. Improve your manners by being a good listener. Now, another little thing that happened yesterday. You were very rude when you made fun of Alice's picture. Of course, you were just kidding. You were just showing off. But Alice didn't know that you were just kidding. Larry, it's always wrong to make fun of other people, even if it's just a gag. That goes for their work, their appearance, anything. It's bad manners to hurt other people's feelings.
I'm sorry, Chalky. I didn't mean to hurt her feelings. Should I apologize?
Well, it's always good manners to say you're sorry when you've done something wrong. Oh, by the way, do you remember what happened just before recess?
Larry. Larry Carson.
Yeah?
It's almost time for recess, Larry. I just wanted to remind you...
It's extremely bad manners to show disrespect for your teacher by answering, yeah.
Chalky, I guess I have been pretty bad. Tell me what else I did.
Larry, I think we can forget about what you've done. Let's talk about what you could do.
I've got an idea, Chalky. If I knew good manners, I could use them. Maybe you could make a list of good manners in school.
Say, that is a good idea. Let's make it together. Hold on there. You just tell me what you want to write.
Well, first, manners in school. Hey, that's neat. How'd you do it?
Nothing to it. Now, what's the first good manners rule?
Let's see. 1, pay attention in class. 2, don't distract others. And 3, don't make fun of other people or do anything to hurt others.
Right. And how about this one?
Be respectful to your teacher.
And always answer, yes, Miss Rand, or no, Miss Rand. Never, yeah, or uh-uh.
Okay.
And here are some more.
Take your turn in class or play. Keep your desk neat and tidy. Say, don't forget, be on time.
There. That's a pretty good list. Let's see. Pay attention in class. Don't distract others. Don't make fun of people. Don't do anything to hurt others. Be respectful to your teacher. Take your turn in class or play. Keep your desk neat and tidy. Be on time.
Is that all?
Of course not, Larry. You'll have to keep looking for new ones and putting them on your list. Say, I just thought of another one. Any idea what it would be?
No, I don't. What is it, Chalky?
Always do your share. Does that remind you of anything?
Oh, my gosh. I'm supposed to be cleaning the chalkboard.
Be sure to do a good job, Larry. One of the finest things that can be said of anyone is that he does the very best he can.
Hey, look out. I almost erased you.
Just a few minutes ago, I thought that's what you wanted to do. I'm ready to go, Larry.
Aw, gee. No, Chalky. I can't do that. I need you to help me with my manners.
No, Larry, you don't need me anymore. You can learn good manners yourself by watching the good manners of others. You can get all the help you want from your parents, your friends, from your teacher. Once they know that you want to have good manners, they'll be glad to help you with them. Besides, how can you clean the board with me hanging around? So long, Larry.
So long, Chalky.
Don't forget, in school, and everywhere else. Mind your manners.
Larry, you've done an excellent job on the chalkboard.
Thank you, Miss Rand.
Well, you're welcome, Larry.
I love that film. Chalky deserves to be. I don't know. This is comparable to other films where there's some supernatural being that dictates a kid's behavior. It's kind of Son of Sam-esque, benevolent, but supernatural and scary nonetheless. Yeah. Let's see. I'm a little spacey right now. I think I need some coffee. You guys can contribute to the AV Geeks Coffee Fund by going here and contributing. Coffee and caffeine are what make AV Geeks run ultimately, besides electricity, which I can't directly connect to my nervous system. Caffeine does a great job of that. I'm beat because yesterday my wife and I, we moved a bunch of films that we had gotten from a university in South Carolina that were in a storage space. We consolidated them with another storage space, so I'm now down to 2 storage spaces versus 3. One of them is lousy with Coronet films. One of them is a storage space that I've had for probably 15 years. That we've been slowly kind of combining, and I put up shelving in there. So yesterday we schlepped a couple hundred films, and so I'm a little tired today. Anyhow, this next film is part of the Hearst news series, and it's talking about upcoming trends, and this is an upcoming trend about the information revolution. This is a wonderful film to watch because we know in hindsight what the information revolution has done for us in a positive and in a gloriously negative way. So here we go, information revolution.
Today, an information revolution is changing dramatically the face of business and the fabric of society in the United States.
This little piece of silicon is revolutionizing the way we live. This tiny chip is a complete, complex, sophisticated computer. And because of its size, we call it a microcomputer. It can monitor events that range from the operations in an oil refinery to the water temperature in your dishwasher. It'll process information. It'll search its memory for data to match with it. It'll store new data. It'll make calculations. It'll feed back the information to an operator through a display, and it'll finally control the process for which it has been programmed.
Communication satellites are helping to stimulate growth in global education and information sharing as part of a projected $500 billion information industry. Across America and around the world, satellites are increasing the reliability of long-distance calls and worldwide coverage of news and sports events on home screens. The Industrial Revolution expanded the strength of man's muscles in the reach of his hand. The Information Revolution is magnifying the power of his brain, changing forever the way Americans work, play, travel, and even think. The first big electronic computer, built in 1946, filled a 30 by 50-foot room, contained 18,000 vacuum tubes, and weighed more than 30 tons. Newsreel audiences marveled at the stories of the mathematical wizardry of these magic brains. Computing the position of the moon over a 200-year period was one of the earliest examples of the new computer technology. Problems that once took the human mind 7 years to solve now were answered in just 7 minutes. Knowledge would double and double again in 30 years. Meanwhile, in 1962, the first global communications satellite called Telstar was built. The 170-pound satellite was mounted on a Thor Delta rocket, then launched into space. President Kennedy's visit to West Berlin was the first major news event to be broadcast live by satellite from Europe to America. Soon, satellites were touching the lives of almost every person on Earth. Meteorologists began receiving information from weather satellites that they could not get from any other source. The birth, growth, and path of tornadoes and other violent storms were plotted and tracked anywhere on the globe. Satellite maps provided data that could be recorded, stored, and punched up when needed for analysis and evaluation. Today, satellites and computers are revolutionizing the forecasting of weather and helping to save lives and reduce property damage from natural disasters. One day, perhaps, meteorologists may have enough data and information to control the weather. Computers shrank in size and cost as transistors replaced vacuum tubes. In law enforcement, a computer-based system has been developed for reproducing fingerprints. The new system accelerates enormously the positive identification of any print on file. A manual search that once took up to a week can now be completed in hours. The long arm of the law is getting longer and developing more muscle thanks to the information revolution. When a state trooper radios for information on a speeding car with out-of-state license plates, a computerized crime information center in Washington, D.C. confirms that the car has been stolen. Alerted to the possibility that the driver may be armed and dangerous, the state trooper can call for reinforcements and make the arrest with a minimum of risk. Computers also are a strategic link in a global network supplying vital defense information to American military bases around the world. The automatic digital network provides the input needed for an immediate response in a crisis situation. In 1976, 2 Comstar satellites were launched to increase still further the diversity, flexibility, and reliability of telecommunications. Like all communications satellites, their orbit was 22,300 miles above the equator. At this exact altitude, a satellite travels at the same rotational speed as the Earth and remains in a fixed position over a geographic area. This is called a geostationary orbit. Today, Comstar satellites weigh about 3,500 pounds and are some 20 feet tall. Solar panels collect the sun's energy as the satellite keeps its antennas aimed directly at receiving stations on the ground. From its geostationary orbit, ComStar can relay messages and signals to any one of 7 Earth stations. Each station is located in a bowl-like terrain to protect space signals from ground-based radio interference. Satellite communications and computer technology are moving into private homes to reach and serve even more people in more ways. Here, a travel writer with a home computer can tap into a commercial data bank over ordinary telephone lines. At his fingertips are thousands of items of information on a city, a country, or a continent. Similar hookups can be used to punch up information on airline schedules, department store merchandise, and current events. Distance and time are shrinking as commercial and cable television cover the world. There is hardly a major sports or news event anywhere in the world that cannot be seen live on commercial or cable television. The 1980 Winter Olympics at Lake Placid, New York, were transmitted by a specially built satellite Earth stations. 22,300 miles up, 22,300 miles down. A round trip of 44,600 miles in 20/100ths or 1/5 of a second. Programming and information will grow as cable TV expands. In computer technology, silicon chips are today etched with circuits powerful enough to book seats on a jumbo jet, cut complex fabrics of cloth, and help children learn. The computers on a chip, called microprocessors, contain 100,000 transistors, yet they are smaller than the average fingernail. Len Peniston explains.
This powerful new technological tool, the microcomputer, unlike the many advances that the space age spawned, didn't even exist until 3 years after man set foot on the moon. It was born out of the desire to further shrink the size of the computer. Now, smaller size means fewer components, and hence greater reliability. And it means a large reduction in power requirements, hence significant energy saved. The progression from the concept of the microcomputer to the industrial usage to the impact on us, the individual, has really been startling, and we measure it in months and not in years.
Business, vacations, going away, coming home, a new society, people on the move, depending on the information revolution for a safe flight and a smooth landing. Flight controllers use computers to process radar information and update the identity, speed, and position of an aircraft in flight. Translated into letters and numbers called alphanumerics, the data enables controllers to handle the tens of thousands of aircraft that fly hundreds of millions of miles a year. In the future, new computer systems will continue to help assure safety in the skies. In the world of business, American offices are expected to be 200% more automated in the 1990s. The incredible progress in computer technology has been likened to going from the Wright brothers' first flight to the space shuttle in 10 years. Today's electronic office, a video terminal, a keyboard, and printer, providing greater productivity. From an electronic listing of pending items, the operator makes a selection. Editing can be done, if needed, before the communication is transmitted. To send, just touch a button. Cleveland, Zurich, London, any place in the world, in whatever language is appropriate. This ability to transmit information and pictures across continents and over oceans is being used in countless ways. Case in point, a physician in Paris is not sure of her diagnosis and would like additional medical information. A few steps away is a complete terminal and the ability to acquire up-to-date research from other countries. Within seconds, the request is flashed across the Atlantic and relayed to Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland. The request is processed, the information programmed, and the response sent on its way to Paris. Medical science and computer technology, partners in diagnosing illnesses and saving lives. Around the world, the information revolution is changing the nature of what people do and how they do it, putting at their fingertips the collective capabilities of the human race in solving mankind's most challenging problems and improving the quality of life for everyone on planet Earth. The growth of knowledge is creating a new class structure around a different kind of wealth, wealth of information. Instead of the haves and have-nots, the information revolution may one day divide peoples and nations in future generations into the knows and know-nots.
I figured some of you would dig the retro computers, the state-of-the-art retro computers, the Atari 800, among many, many others. And I saw those rows and rows and rows of data tape, and I was quickly trying to figure out, like, okay, what's the capacity of that? How much are we talking about data-wise? And I really couldn't find a translation. I found that I think it's a 9-track tape, based on the packaging, but I couldn't figure out exactly how big. I'm kind of looking, Wikipedia can sometimes be great, sometimes not so much. I couldn't really find, like, how much data they would hold. Like one, it says 170 megabytes, which is crazy. 170 megabytes. Per tape, which, is a lot of data, but it's, how many memes is that? It's not many. But thanks for joining us today, and thanks, John, for some coffee. Coffee makes the world go round for us at AV Geeks. If you like what you saw, you can certainly click like and subscribe, and yeah, join us tomorrow. We'll show some more films. Today was like all over the map. It was really kind of great. I love it. I love when we span lots of different time periods and focuses and all that. And this was definitely one of those good ones. So tomorrow, so many more films to go through. Holy cow, so many more. But thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for your kind comments and letting us dominate an hour of your consciousness, your brain, your eyeballs. And we'll do this again tomorrow. I've been ending with this awesome thing I found in a can, one of the film cans, which somebody wrote, "Please rewind," and then "love each other," and a little smiley face and a peace sign. A bored student waiting for a film to rewind probably drew that in there. But this is one of the reasons I like collecting, is because we find stuff like this occasionally. We find notes in cans, we find drawings in cans. But everybody have a good rest of the day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.